notes. Is my stream still going? Or I don't know if this is an ad or if my stream's still working right now. This is kind of questioning. Okay, it says I'm still streaming, so I'm just gonna go with it and assume that I just hit my own ad on my videos as I try to keep up with chat with you guys. I don't know what happened. Did my stream just cut out? Oh my gosh. Yeah, and this is why I need to find a better channel to stream on, because I don't know what's happening. Okay. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. I don't know exactly what happened. It just kind of went black on my computer screen, so I got confused. I'm sorry if you guys got booted. Like, I got booted, and I have no idea how or why. So I guess I'm just going to talk about this team that I'm seeing right now. Whenever I see a Pete lead, I think points, to be honest, because Pete usually doesn't have a stun weapon. So it's pretty easy. Like, I usually try to daze him first because I know on turn 2 that active skill recovers HP. I know that Krista has a turn 2 active skill that she uses a lot, which means she doesn't attack, same as James. Lydia has an active stun recovery. I can't remember what turn. It's a turn 2. And Kapoor is a turn 3. So there's a lot of like open targets to attack, to be honest. What I should have actually done is use Cole's active skill only because it cuts the opponent's attack. So like here, I want to cut either James or Krista's. So I'm going to start on James just because he has higher attack. I'm going to lay some damage down on the center tune, which is also good for my James because of his collateral damage, and he can apply damage all around. If I attack here in the center, I know that if I get a critical hit, I will hit up to 3 adjacent enemies, which is good because it'll allow me to put down some indirect damage potentially on Lydia, who has 100% heal reduction. 100% absolute defense weapon, not heal reduction. But see, I was able to kill 3 tunes there off of his rush and apply other damage, which made it for an easy kill for Priya to finish up at the end. What I try to do when I see a lead is anticipate what's behind it. Like right here, Michelle. I don't have any problems with a Michelle lead, so I'm going to skip it. With a Priya lead, they can be kind of interesting, so we'll go into this one. I'm expecting more of an attacking defensive team, but I still kind of expect Kapoor because a lot of people use him. Like right here, here's Kapoor. Okay, so she doesn't have a stun weapon. Let's see, Priya has high attack, but so does Krista. I'm going to cut Krista's attack, and then I'm going to attack Magna here. I'm able to kill her as a shield. I just don't find her to be very effective on a defensive team. She's an attacking shield, in my opinion. Gonna attack the center tune, apply damage. And what I really look for, I do look for that trade advantage damage that I can apply, but I also look at who I think I can kill on that turn, who would have an impact on who my next tune will end up attacking. Let's see. Easy auto one. I think this one gives me 33 trophies. 34 trophies, actually. So what I mentioned before, so you guys kind of know, I keep my team grade low, which means I don't try to construct the highest team possible, so I don't hit auto. And that allows me to have a higher team grade difference than the people that I play against, which means that I'll have more raid trophies, like 34, 30, 31, 31, skipping down here, 40, 37, there's 129, so I know to avoid someone with a Kate lead because I only get 29 trophies. Whoever has this Carl lead, it gives me 38. That Mirabelle, 33. Again, that Carl lead. So if you're able to keep track of what specific bots or people, like how many trophies they give you, you can just skip through in order to find them, in order to get higher raid trophies, which means you don't have to raid as much in order to get higher up on the leaderboard. Like here, an S14 team is max. That's the same as mine. I'm going to skip it. Lilith lead, I think that one would give me a lower score. Angel leads I like to attack right now. It's something for me to practice on. Like Pete, I always find to be the safest tune to attack, and I ended up stunning him anyway. Sometimes I do need to check because some people do have a stun weapon for him already. A lot of people don't. Here, I'm going to take a risk, and I'm going to taunt here, attack, and I'm going to try to go for that turn 3 just clean attack. So I'm going to want to confuse here because if I don't end up killing Kapoor, I don't want him to use his active skill to heal. I'm going to defense down the enemy. My attack tunes have 65% attack and defense now. I'm going to use James here because I want to make sure that I get Pete and I get Angel in this, and I'm pretty sure I can kill Krista with it, and I really want to kill Krista to start. On this next attack, I won't be able to kill Kapoor because, well, I could kill Kapoor, but I wouldn't kill the other tunes, so I might start on Angel actually, and then see where it goes from there. So it ends up getting Kapoor after, and then it's just an easy sweep. Oh, okay, so my Cole had enough attack, and Sid's defense was dropped enough that I was able to kill him with one shot from my Cole. And that's 35 raid points, so that's pretty good. So I suggest this a lot, checking team grades. Like S14 plus I think is too close to mine to actually give me any like points coming out that are of value. I think that one actually gives me a decent amount, but I want to find another defense. S14 plus there's some difference. We'll go for it. So you know what, I try to control the shield. I try to taunt them or stun them. I find a lot more people are using stun resist because of Mercer now. I'm going to attack here because it's a safe target. I stunned James. Now this turn coming up, I know that the stun recovery could come, but I really want to be able to use my Diego's focus ability on the next turn. So I'm just going to wait it out an extra turn. No one here on this defensive team is really an offensive threat. So I'm going to focus, and then I'm going to use the active skill. I'm going to defense down. I'm going to attack the center tune. And then I'm going to attack Leopo next. She's tanky, and that'll also apply Confuse as well as Impair to the line, so that Gabe can't revive or use his active skill to revive someone else as well. And to be honest, it kind of becomes a straightforward match at this point because I was able to, if I couldn't have killed Gabriel on that turn, which I didn't, I had enough control with my Priya so that I could focus on the other tunes that are there. I don't like rushing Priya initially on the center tune because the Confuse and Impair ability, in my opinion, is kind of wasted. Instead, let's see, yeah, rating can take a while, to be honest, and top 10, I'm not even going to come close to top 10. Top 10, 30,000 is the top score, and then 8,200 for 10th place, and like I don't have that many resources. I would rather save my cans and space them out, and as a free-to-play player, that's kind of something you have to do. You have to understand where you have to position yourself in order to be most effective and like balance your resources as you go, because if you push hard in this one event, you might cripple yourself for the next ones. Moving over to the raid milestones, I do like the torches. I wish we got more league tokens because I need so many of them for gear because everyone is short on gear. I wish we got more armory tokens. It's just, I wish we had more of everything type of thing. Let's see. 5th place is above 10k. What are Alice stats? Rush. Oh, Alice is a great tune. Where is she? Here. I love her rush. Plus 75% attack can make any tune an attacking tune, in my opinion. The focus ability is huge because then you don't really have to mod as much against Confuse as well as Taunt. You can attack around human shields, and she's an easy tune to command rush on the second turn for that focus. So when you run her, you just have more options, in my opinion, with your toons on how you mod them, so that they can be more effective at doing whatever their job is, whether it's disarming, whether it's damage, whether it's control. She offers you so much in a single toon, and I'm really glad that I pulled her. I don't really like that I pulled a second one of her as a 5-star, but let's see, where is she? Where is she actually? Maybe she's on a team actually in a scavenger mission or something. Yeah, here. So I have an Alice, a Dale, a Jeremiah, Vincent there, and that Maggie. I actually just picked up this Jeremiah from the supply depot, and some of you guys might ask, why would you pick up this toon? To be honest, I like him as a 6-star, but I love him as a 5-star. And the reason I love him as a 5-star is because when we go to the arenas, old school arena, okay, you can't see it right now, but he's on my defensive team. And the reason he's on my defensive team is because of his Outlast ability. So Outlast, when the specialist is defeated, their death is delayed for 1 turn, during which they may still take an action and they receive 100% AP. The biggest part here is their death is delayed a turn. By their death being delayed a turn, it means someone can't turn 1 you. Because, so I'm going to take this team in against someone. We're going to go here. So this is my, where is it? This is my turn 1 attack team for 5 stars. On it, I would attack with Victor first, command Victor. Attack with Sandy next, command Sandy. So I have a minus 50% defensive buff. And then I have Sandy, who can do collateral damage and 350% damage to all enemies and those adjacent type of thing. So the initial enemy and the adjacent. So in 5-star arenas, this is really effective. Negan gives that plus 30% attack bonus, and usually Bob's your uncle type of thing. Obviously, it doesn't work in this case scenario because these are S-class toons and such, but it's just an example to show, it's a nice way to stall the enemy by having an Outlast toon. So I run on my 5-star defense. It's something like, hold on, I kind of hate that we can't do a filter like we can for weapons at the moment, but my 5-star defense team is something like Mercer, Jeremiah, I think I have Command Ethan, I have Tenacity Kate. What I like about using Kate is the Tenacity ability prevents her from dying after 1 shot. So if this character's health is above 20% and they take damage that would kill them, it reduces their health to 19%. So it's tough to kill Tenacity toons on the first turn as well. And then I can't even remember who my last toon is. It could be Rick, it could be Priya. There's just a lot of different options to use. Another effective type of defensive team to use is a team with all absolute defense weapons, because if someone doesn't bring in a disarming character, it's very easy to not be able to get AP on the characters that you need, versus toons that have, say, like a stun gun and or an impair gun. You can mod your toons so that they resist stun and impair. So like he just resists confuse, but like Priya resists stun. I think Kate doesn't resist anything right now, and I don't think Mercer does either, but it's just that idea of being able to delay the enemy from being able to kill you on the first turn and score more points off of you. Okay, let's see what else you guys have been saying. It's tough to be motivated sometimes with some of these events, especially when some people are just burning energy after energy in survival road, in raids, in whatever event we're going off of. Yeah, burning cans on the road maps to get gear is also kind of a struggle, in my opinion, just because you never know what gear you're actually going to get, because it's now like an RNG box. I remember before, when those gear maps, you could farm that specific stage and get that same gear over and over again, which was much more useful. So yeah, couldn't use the 5-star one for arenas. Yeah, so that's what I did. I used the 5-star one in arenas. Oh, sorry, lockdown, but I I need to use it because 5-star arenas is one of the only places I get rings now. Best tune for 5-star arenas is Marlin and Rosie. I'm curious to that one. Smokey? Steve? Smokey? Yeah. So what's your reasoning on Marlin and Rosie? Because, again, they buff themselves, yes, but I'm just trying to think about what they can really do for, a turn 1 or 2. Man on the Moon asked that same question. I'd recommend a shield for a 5-star team. Pretty good and can put characters that have low defense instead. I use Blue Garrett with Impair. And Elusive, and it's pretty good. Yeah, even with teams that have a human shield, if the match doesn't last past the first turn, then the human shield doesn't really do anything. My best strategy is honestly just having that Outlast character there, or using Tenacity. Something that I noticed in other regions. So, I have a couple mini accounts, and so for new players, if you're just starting out and say you get Kapoor, in my opinion, on a defensive team, because of how you'll have 4-star tunes and 3-star tunes and 5-star tunes, but then other people on their attack team obviously are also running Kapoor and Krista, maybe a Priya. Put your Kapoor beside your Krista, or a tune with Tenacity, just because if someone's able to use Krista against you and your defensive team, you want to make sure that your tunes don't end up dying because of the Waste Not ability on Krista, for example. Because if I attack an adjacent tune to your Krista, your Priya, your whatever tanky defensive tune, but I use my own Krista, I could trigger my Waste Not by killing your tune that has low defense, and because Waste Not is unmitigated flat damage, it could easily kill any tune that's beside it, excluding maybe Kapoor because of his dexterity, so the Tenacity part of it would come into play. Yes, double Tenacity is good as well. There's no way to turn 1 it because you end up kind of splitting it, especially if you have your Tenacity tunes on, say, if we're looking at an X shape, the top left and the bottom right, because if a center tune dies, it's very difficult to try and kill those other 2 characters. It's kind of like in bowling when you split your pins, and it's very difficult to get a shot that will knock both of them down. Yes, some S-Class tunes for 5-star arenas, but it depends on your S-Class tunes. I'm lucky in the sense of I have a 5-star Mercer because I did 140 pulls, and I got 3 of them. That includes the free, well, not exactly the free one, but the guaranteed one at 100 pulls. So it just gives me that opportunity to run him in 5-star arenas, and that RNG, I find people avoid me, and that could also be just because my team grade's low, but it could also be because by running a Mercer lead, it's difficult for people to anticipate who will be stunned to start. Teams, but no idea about those types of teams. I just make sure to keep Sean from going into recovery, and I'm set. Sean going into recovery. Speaking of Sean, I know Lady Geek runs a great turn 1 5-star team that has Sean in it, because Sean, as a 5-star, it's 44 or 45 AP, and he does a ridiculous amount of damage. It's really easy to run him on a turn 1 team. For most turn 1 teams, you just need a lot of AP gain. Yes, adding S-Class shards to the roadmap. I would love that because, as I mentioned earlier, I am 100 shards away from my S-Class Mercer, and I desperately need him before WOC. I plan on using him both on attack and on defense. Well, I wish. No, I don't really wish. I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. Over my Christmas break, I ended up using, just doing a ton of Tapjoy offers, and I was able to gain enough coins to do, 140 pulls. I was going to stop at 100, but then I was kind of I might need, the cards more. because I don't know when they're going to update the boxes and the crates, and like arenas, those crates are so far behind right now, and the torch roadmap is behind. The boxes in the museum are behind, and then we're just getting kind of random getting random items in the events. Like I think the next event that we have, we're supposed to be getting Priya cones again, which is kind of interesting. Like right now I think we have Arav, and is the other one Leopo, or is that the one coming? So we have 2 Arav things out right now, but the survival road thing that we have coming out soon is going to have, I think, Leopo cakes. So I don't know, like I'm still far on Leopo. I still don't have my S-Class Pete. Eventually, I'm not really worried. Like Leopo, I have one that's a 6-star, but you know, I'm pretty far on her. I prefer Angel anyway. I have 1 Raulito, 1 Henyon. I'm almost at my S-Class Arav. Got 1 Gao. I didn't end up maxing them out for these cakes because, like, with this, sorry, not that one, this one, it's so far behind. I want Mercer cards or Princess cards. I don't really want to use my limited number of cakes on some things that I don't find I really need as much. Like I think Wangfa's gonna come soon, so I need like 1,000 of his items. But it really only matters if I start to update these crates, because like, you know, I have a few pieces of a bunch of different S-Class tunes here. Like I'm far from Dayu still, very far. Princess, I'm still pretty far. Mercer's right there and ready. Nothing for Minerva, nothing for Frost. So just kind of waiting. And actually, back in the museum, I still haven't maxed out these 2 characters to get my Michonne. She'd be a fun tune to have. Axel, like, where's the kite roadmap? We haven't had the kite roadmap in forever. And I would like to still see a yellow kite and yellow flag map, because we have these yellow flags and it just feels like this tune is never going to come. Meanwhile, I would honestly love to see a tune like that come out, because it would be very interesting to me to see what type of tune they'd create. I did a video about what I kind of anticipate them using, but who knows, right? Regarding territories, I like what I see. There's not a lot of white areas. I do like taking Kentucky Farm because of the player EXP, and every 2 levels now I end up getting coins, which is helpful. Steve, I find Marlon and Rosie good because he can rush 1 for 2 with command. Turn 1, okay, turn 1 or 2 with command. Also, if on a roll, he can just start one-shotting tunes. He isn't good for turn 1, but I have no idea how to set those teams up. Okay, so I can actually show you a turn 1 team. Let me just lay down a random team here for a second. So what you need to look at for like turn 1 teams is AP gains, and that's something that's kind of difficult to understand at times. But so this team right now is a turn 1 team. There are many ways to actually create turn 1 teams, and a lot of it has to do with weapons. So this weapon here, bonus AP, all team members receive 8% AP at the beginning of each wave. In order to figure out how much AP that is per tune, you take a look at what their rush rate is. So it's 44 AP. And let me bring up a calculator on my computer. I think it's going to end up being 4 AP for him. But you would end up multiplying the tune's AP. So 44 times 0.08, and that equals 3.52, which rounds up to 4 AP. So one of these weapons gives him 4 AP to start. Now I have a second one on my Maggie. So that means that he starts off with 8 AP. 44 minus 8 means 36. So on his weapon, he has a huge bonus to AP, which gives an additional 10. On a normal attack, he gets 20. And with Negan lead being a very large bonus, that's 8. So he has enough AP to rush after he attacks on the first turn. Now with Sandy is at 44 AP as well. So we know that she's going to get 8 AP to start, but I have a 20% AP bonus to self. So if I take 44 and I multiply it by 0.2, That's 8.8 or 9 AP. So we have 9 plus 4, which gives us 17 AP. With the base of 20, that brings us up to 37. And with the lead, a very large lead, that gives 8 more, so we're already at 45. And that's why I don't need to worry about this weapon having AP on it. Like, it has a medium bonus to AP when taking damage. It doesn't really matter because she doesn't need it to have her full rush, because I have 45 over 44 AP. So by having 2 command tunes, I'm able to command Victor to start, who will cause a minus 50% defense to one enemy and all enemies adjacent. And then I'll have Sandy to rush, who has attack set mods, as well as can apply 350% damage to one enemy and all adjacent with this weapon that does plus 40% attack. So that's how I set up my turn 1 team. Other people use tunes like Samurai Jesus or other yellow tunes really with 8% weapons. A lot of it just comes down to some math and understanding kind of how AP works. And that lets you kind of manipulate your team. Any Blue Princess mod suggestions? Okay, so for Blue Princess, I only have her as a 6-star. So hold on, let me just claim this territory and then I'm going to show you my 6-star princess mods. As an S-class princess, I would go complete attack set. But because I have a 6-star one and I utilize her taunting ability and normalize ability so that she is attacked, it's because her active skill gains 35% AP. So that's like on Angel, that's 1500 maim damage. So I could switch this out for maim resist instead. I have an impair resist on her right now. I have a perfect attack mod in the HP set. I have a graze mod, so she takes less damage when she is attacked because of her taunt, more HP, attack burst alert, and impair resist. Now I could definitely switch this out, as I mentioned, to a maim resist mod. Like 63% is pretty good, and that would help against normal maim as well as exhaustion. I'm not going to do that right now, only because like I'm kind of waiting on a mod removal. So I'm just kind of waiting on that. But that's kind of my general idea. If she was an S-class, I would go complete attack set. For here, you know what, I would probably still go attack up when taunted. I might not go maim resist only because her HP would be a lot higher. I could also go with another impair resist. I could go with a confused resist. Stun resist is another great option. Here I could go, attack versus red. And finally I can do another like resist mod, for example, because as an S-class she would have higher stats, so hopefully she wouldn't be able to take as much damage. If she was taking quite a bit of damage, I could do a trait resist mod, or I could do wherever graze is again, if I have one. I don't have an attack set graze mod, but just an example. You run Jesus, Negan, Michonne, Lead, Maggie, Brianna, Victor, Sean. Yeah, nice team. I want to get a Brianna. I know that she's sometimes in the supply depot, but I have not had her show up yet. But I'm kind of waiting on her. She has a clear all penalties ability, I believe, too, which makes her pretty useful. Limited edition Negan, Marlon, Priya, Maggie, and Blue Garrett. Okay, so you have a bit of a slower team there, Steve, where you go systematically through it. Wangfa is out now. Yes, he's out now. Let me see. On the roadmap, I believe. Yeah, his cards are out there, but we're still pretty far behind, in my opinion. And I would also love to see more torches given out, because like I have enough torches to do 2 runs, so that's 260 S-class items. But I want to save them for the next tune that I'm really going for. That comes up. I'm going mostly for Gao. Yes. When they fix Gao's AP gain active skill, he's going to be so much better. I haven't really focused on him because this active skill is broken. So the way that it's broken, I did a video about how AP gains work when they're unnatural, and the way that this one's supposed to work is, so up to 2 teammates gain 60% AP. So whatever tunes have the most amount of AP at that time, like the highest number, should get the 60%. Yet Gao is always getting AP, regardless of if he has 0 AP or 100 AP. He is always getting that AP, and that's a bug in the coding, in my opinion. Yeah, lots of regions end up walkering territories. Yes, crafting weapons. Always be crafting weapons. For any player that's a little bit newer, when you end up crafting weapons, I don't know if it'll let me actually go in here, but yeah, so it does. When you're crafting weapons, we're going to go just 4-star weapons. Pick a 4-star weapon that has a purple stat and a good one. So what I mean by a good one is this one has 30% HP, which is purple, and random healing when being attacked, a better chance to heal one other teammate for 20% of their max HP. This is a type of weapon that I would craft stun on, for example. So I'd craft stun on the 3rd slot and keep the HP, but I would not want to craft it on, say, where's a bad weapon? On this, for example. 24 crit, a medium bonus AP when taking damage, and then self-healing when killing an enemy. There's no purple stats on it, so this is just really basic for anyone who's kind of just starting out. I try to go in the direction the weapon's already heading me in. There are some weapons here that I would like to actually make up just for Onslaught, where they have no AP, because in most cases you want AP when attacking, for example, but in Onslaught you don't want to rush. So there's specific weapons that you could definitely use, like this one here. Defense down when being attacked, a better chance to cause minus 35% defense for 3 turns to the enemy. If you had a human shield and you gave him this weapon, it would be a pretty good one in Onslaught, because there's not a lot of active skills and abilities in order to cut the opponent's defense, because you're going to want to be using basic attacks to kill the enemy. So you can attack boost yourself, and then if you can defense down the enemy, it's just going to make killing a lot faster and easier. Unless, of course, you have S-Class Priya, you have a double attack weapon on her with Rampage, for example. Do I have Yellow Andrea? Kind of. I have her as a 5-star, I think. I don't think I have her as a 6-star. I might. Let me see. Yep. So I have her as a 5-star because I got her in the trial run. I didn't find her to be that useful. I'm not going to upgrade her now. She would need 14 comic books, which is a month of comic books for me because I only get the Rick statues. I wish they updated the 5-star wheel. I do too. I think it would be helpful because I don't save my 5-star tokens. I open everything as I go. It's just I'm not very good at saving. I will open them and then usually use them as fodder almost right away. Any good healers till a couple days ago? Well, I'm glad you have some healers. Lockdown, that double katana Michonne leader. She is a cool 5-star tune that I've never had. I would like to have her, but she's just never shown up for me. And I would keep her just because I think she looks really cool. Yeah, because of the likes of tenacity, the double attack on her weapon hits really hard. Yes, usable in a turn 1 team. I think she has a universal lead skill, plus 20% attack or something, and then AP. It's something interesting like that. On Onslaught, I don't really care about points as much as the attacks as possible for my missions. Yeah, so that I understand completely. I kind of like testing myself with Onslaught because by being able to construct a team that doesn't rush, it just shows, I guess, a more understanding on the basic mechanics of a game, which is also pretty difficult to do, in my opinion, because you have S-Class tunes on defense now. Some of the best ways to get through them is by bleeding them or burning them. Bleeding might be the best option just because people can get Rolito pretty easily. Zhefang was in the season store, and with her laceration ability and then her special weapon, it made it pretty easy in order to manipulate the defense. Ooh, look at this. My War of Champions 1 free region transfer key. I'm claiming that. And does that mean that the region's open? Let's see. Yep, so you guys are seeing right now the other regions that I have an account in. Ooh, look there. I had a login there? I had no idea how to... No, wait, or is that right now? Okay. It gives me the option to return, so I'm not going to transfer. But I'm just going to go and check this out. I didn't realize I had a mini over here. So it's probably going to make me go through the basics, I guess. Yeah, so I'm just going to skip through this quickly, going to see if anyone has already transferred over. I forgot about all this tutorial stuff. Kind of wish I could skip it just because I've done it before. Who would they put into the 5-star wheel? Who would matter though? Well, I guess for 5-star arenas, right? That's still a thing. And, you know, there are lots of good tunes that are 5 stars that could be brought up. Like, I would like to see more leader tunes, I guess, in there that are more like universal leads. Kate is always a good option to have in there. Okay, so watch this, guys. I'm going to try to enter my name Link, and it's going to tell me I'm against TOS. So, I'm going to go with another name, Lonk, because I still am pretty bad at spelling sometimes. I get so excited that I write things fast, and and I sometimes spell my name wrong, so that happens. Okay, so it's really making me go through this whole tutorial part. Let's see. I just want to see who has transferred here already. It's attack lead to all and very large in attack. Very nice. I spent over 30k coins for Jerry Fang and now she's free. Oof. Well, I'm sorry, Steve. That's very I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that. That's really rough, actually. And hi there, Lee from Deflex. And Link is against TOS. So if you try to change your name to Link, you won't be able to do it. That's how it is. So let's see. So let's see. People, cannot find player. Oh, this is old. This is from 2019-04. So here's some people. Rammer, Hitman, Kent, Derek, Monster Ivan. Hello, WOC. Oh, there's there's a level up going on. I wonder if I can level someone up. Jeez. I kind of I'm interested in how WOC is a bit different than everything else, and I don't really think it is, but it'll just be kind of a whale region of sorts, and I'm kind of excited for that because it just means that I'll be able to fight against better teams and kind of learn as I go. Let's open these items up. Yeah, I'm in, but I'm in with like a mini account right now. I didn't transfer my main one over yet. I will eventually, but we shall see. I'm excited to fight and hopefully do well. And if I don't do well, you guys will see it because I'm going to be live streaming a lot of WOC on the 7th of February. Say hello to the internet, folks. We are going to a retirement home. Well, I'm going to create... Oh, I can't even create one because I'm not level 5. I might just auto some stuff just to make a little mini account here right now that I can hang out with. What's happened with yours account? My account's still in Blount. I'm going to be going there soon. I don't know, man. On the moon right now, we don't have a CM, so I don't know if they're gonna give you guys the option. You have a week to level up your account to standard. That would actually be really fun. It would also be a very interesting mode. Like you have 1 week to make your account as good as you can get it. Really just need to get a couple tunes, and hope and pray. Let's see. Give me the gold brick tunes. I'll get an angel, and I'll probably grab a Krista in that case. That'd be a lot of fun, actually. Let's see. I'm not sure what else to talk to you guys about on this stream. I guess just another reminder that, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. Take care of those people who are around you. Don't be afraid to talk to people about what's going on in your life. It's always good to talk, but it's also good to listen. Be aware that everyone is going through something in their life, and it can be quite difficult at times. You don't always know what someone else is going through, so don't judge if you can. Like, I know we all make our own judgments at first, and it's hard not to, but it's all about what we do after that point. So, yeah. Yes, draft war. That is something I think would be really interesting. I would love to have a draft war where, everyone kind of has their own player card, and you kind of pick and choose. Okay, pick and choose kind of sounds mean, but at the same time, you pick the people who will be on your squad, and I think it would be interesting for communication and, you're recruiting players not just based on their skills, but also based on their time zones. Because in a lot of cases, there have been dead times during war only because you don't have someone in the right time zone. Yes, January is disaster month. I am christening January disaster month. I just had my birthday, but I will still call it disaster month because it has been just a crazy, hectic start to 2020 with so much going on in the world. I really like that you guys on my new Discord channel have been kind of talking about what else is going on in the world as well. I think it's important that we're all aware and we have open minds about it. I think it's just an important aspect, an important part of life to understand that there's more beyond like what we initially see and what we initially think. So good on all of you guys for participating in that. And when regions open, I don't know. I would guess right after WOC. I can't see them wanting people to move around like during it, especially because you guys will have your own war while we're in our WOC war. So it makes the most sense that after that point, region transfers will open so people can go kind of wherever they want. I think that the last day to be in the WOC region is like the 17th I saw posted. So my guess is region transfers will stay open until that day type of thing. Yes, you got to turn away strong players because you need Aussies and Asians. Yep, Euros, Aussies, Asians. There's a lot of American players out there. How did you have that, Andrea, here? Because I did the Survivors Club trial run, whenever I start in a new region, it automatically gifts me her as a 5-star. So, yeah, so I just have her there, which is helpful when you're just starting out on a new account, in my opinion. Like, she's a decent tune to have. A human shield is always useful. You can always just add an absolute defense weapon when you are finally able to craft one. So even in new regions, I end up using her. So yeah. In my opinion, the world is trying to kill us for destroying the planet. Yeah, well, it kind of feels that way at the time, but I guess in a way it would be us doing that to ourselves because, like the impact that we have on our planet, we have to be very mindful of what we do because everything that we do affects those around us and affects the planet that we live on. There's a lot of misinformation that's out there as well, in my opinion, and I would say read as much as you can, learn as much as you can, read the news, listen to the news, just check up on the news once a day. There's so much out there that we're unaware of, And a lot of like things in life that we don't understand is just from lack of education or lack of just looking it up, not lack of knowledge. And you know what? We can always learn something new. Like, I'm not saying I know everything, nor will I ever know or learn everything, but I do my best to stay well versed in the things that are going on around me, because I believe it's important to to be aware. Because like there are so many things beyond our initial bubble, beyond like the doors of our city, the doors of our country, and understanding what our impact is extremely important. You're set in North America and the EU. Yeah. We have a lot of North American players. We're short on the Euros, but I think we have like 4 Aussies, I think, which helps. A couple Asians. Yeah, if you're not east of India, I'm passing strictly because of fill issues. That's probably one of the most annoying parts, where you're missing out on good people because of time zones. But that's part of the game too, finding that balance. Brexit starts on the 1st of February, so February disaster is one. So this year so far is starting out poor. Morning Europe is kind of dead in war. Every faction I've been in, there have been problems with filling on those time zones. Yeah, like I will usually try to stay up quite late for some wars when I know that our Euros are busy, or if I know it's a busy weekend or whatever else, I will try to be there to help out, because like if I can, why wouldn't I? And yeah, well, Moon, I want to be aware of what's going on in the world, and I think having this audience and having this platform, it's important to let other people know what's going on as well. And like this is a bit more personal to me, I guess, because I try to usually keep things strictly to the game, but I also want you guys to know a little bit more about myself and kind of what I believe in, what I think is important. And you know what, it might not always be important to you, and that's okay. But I feel like it would be a disservice if I didn't try to do something more with the things that I've been given. I like the news too, Captain Walker Slayer. Yes, always need a Brit. You warred for 25 hours till the end of war last weekend. That's pretty intense, Moon. Last weekend for war, I had a soccer/football tournament. Wherever you're from, you play it with your feet. So I had that for about 8 hours during the day. And then that night, I just kind of enjoyed and relaxed because it was my birthday on the Saturday. So I warred maybe 5 or 6 times on Saturday, and then went pretty hard on Sunday. Only ended up putting up like 300 and change in points, 300,000 points. So it wasn't my greatest weekend, but I wanted to help out my faction as best as I could. Get in some quality war practice as well for WOC. And so here I am. If you guys have any other questions about the game, like I do have a video in the works for Trauma, because I know I've had a lot of requests for it. It's just about trying to find the right combination of film so you guys can best understand it, because it is a kind of difficult ability to understand, because it's based on penalties that are recovered, and what I'm trying to do is make sure that I have all the penalties covered, because it can be very convoluted or confusing at times to know what is included as a penalty and what's not, as well as the damage that's inflicted, because it's in very specific cases, in my opinion. We were in second for the majority of CRW. I just wanted to keep pushing for my peeps. They're showing up and doing. Yep, I totally get that. In my war film against Zed Legion, I mentioned how they finished 3rd and we finished 4th. And it was going back and forth for a little bit. We were down by like 1 million points after the first day to them. Back and forth. And then we cut it down to about 200,000. I think we had it within 120,000, and then kind of just dropped off from there. They're a great faction as well. And I had a lot of fun in the wars against them and the wars against everyone else. Your faction is sort of dead and all the top players hate each other. Ooh. Yeah, that's not always great. I like having a non-dramatic faction. I like having a chill, dramaless region. I just kind of like to play and figure things out and show you guys kind of the film that I can create in order to make difficult concepts easier to understand. And something I found out about myself the other day is that I learn most when I watch videos myself. I do that when I play sports as well. So like my varsity soccer team, I'm getting some film from some of our games so that I can analyze it better, so I can understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and seeing what other options are there. I think I need to work on my arms now at the gym because my legs are monstrous. I need to work on my everything at the gym so that I don't feel the way I do after I go to the gym. Okay, cool. So I'm at level 5, and that means I can make my own little faction here. So let's make... Guys, give me a faction name that I can make in the WOC region at the moment. Figured if I can turn a 15-minute war into a 12-minute war, then it's worth losing sleep. Yes, faster wars are good. Dramaless region, yet walkers. I can't break walls with my legs. Aw, I'm so sorry, and that's probably not a bad thing. Sorry, wait, you can break walls. Okay, don't do that because that can be kind of expensive. I'm not going to do that one. Okay, I will go with Kenny is the best, okay? Kenny is the best, not beat. Okay, and it's made. And we're just gonna chill here in WOC land. Let's see who all has popped in. There's a lot. Lots of people saying hello to the internet. Rad. Tamasita? Mame. Ciao. Okay, I know Serbians say ciao for hello and goodbye. I can't remember what other languages do. Ferreira. J. Oh, Peto Patop. Anyone is running level up. Hit me up in line if you're still looking for a faction. So many people are recruiting. Nightmare. iZombies. Lots of people are here. People are moving in pretty fast, it seems. Oh, Raz is here. Hey, Raz. Grey Fox. Hattori Hans. Oh, iZombies is moving in. Legion of Doom. Lots of people coming in right now. It'll be very interesting to see everyone who ends up popping up. I'm wondering how many of the top 175 players with war scores or whatever are going to be coming over, because I've heard that some are just not even bothering because they don't want to deal with the whale wars. High Rolls Army, that would have been pretty good too. How long have you been going to the gym? Not as long as I should have. I took most of December off. I'm going to the gym now almost every day because I have a soccer schedule in order to do better for my team. My trainer has us all on a different fitness schedule, so I actually have to do that a little later today. So more fitness. Yay. Not really. Wow, can't even level up a tune. We'll do that in a second, because may as well if I'm here. I still don't have a Kenny, so sorry, Steve. Is it a good thing for construction workers and demolition? We play Telltale. I've never played Telltale. 30 levels cost like 60 rings and lots of gear. Yeah, Raz is pretty cool. As a wild card. That's unfortunate. You're just in the wrong region, and that's tough because it's like you didn't know that there would be all these wild card spots open. No one did because we weren't really given that information beforehand, and it would have been nice to have that information, but it always seems like we're a little late with getting information. I think more communication would help everyone in the community and would help us with planning things out instead of being left in the dark all the time. I'm really looking forward to having a new CM. I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but when we finally do get one, I hope that we can get more communication from them, and our voices will be heard, I hope. And all we can really do is hope. Okay, let's see. We're gonna level up one toon and see where that places us in this WOC stuff. Well, anyone who's moving in actually will probably place really well here, because if they're the only ones that are here, right? Right now we're in 9th with a total of 4,000 points. See, we have some people here. This is kind of smart, because if you're the first ones over, there's only an hour and a half left of this event, and they're gonna top out. They're gonna get 2,000 Arov cards if they're able to put up enough points right away. Yes, a set standard for how WOC will work instead of changing everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. It feels like things are constantly changing with WOC. With TOC, things changed halfway through it, where all of a sudden, even if you were knocked out in the first round, you had a chance to still make it. So it was just so confusing and convoluted, and I have no idea again why they went one region versus another region, when we know in the past that never worked, because it was actually the region that was less active that did better, because they always had matches. So if their top faction was matching with all these lower factions, they were scoring more points. And now it would be even worse, because we have a 24,000 win bonus versus the 4,000 loss bonus. So it's just kind of crazy. And yeah, I will try the Telltale games eventually. First need to, get out of school, get it out of debt, all that fun stuff. Rip Rockdale. Oh, there are so many good regions out there that had strong factions that were, so excited about TOC, and then when it turned out to be what it was just ridiculous. We thought our region was going to do pretty well, and I just remember it was just frustrating because we had a bunch of strong teams, but the other region, I can't even remember who we were fighting, ended up just having their top 2 or 3 factions fighting the whole time, and there was just no chance to recover at some points. I think we won our first round. Second round, I think we lost. And Telltale. What region is that? This region right here? This is the WOC region that I'm in right now with a mini account, because it let me move into it with a level 1 account. I'm not moving my main in yet, but I will be, obviously, before the 7th. And I'm pretty excited. I'm going to try to live stream as much of WOC as I can. I'm not sure how much that'll be, but it will definitely be interesting. See, we got a loaner from TTT every round of TOC. Yeah, we tried to do that at one point, where I actually loaned myself and one of my faction mates to another faction in our region, Vikings at the time. But that turned into a mess when they didn't end up sending anyone back. So it kind of messed up time zones on all sides, and it caused a lot of frustration. I was very frustrated because we were actually promised 2 players in exchange for our 2 players, because they needed Americans and we needed a couple of their Euro/Asian players. So it created a lot of problems, in my opinion, and I wish it were different, but it is what it is. See, I like that type of team play right there. For the betterment of a region. TTT split some players up, and that creates a stronger region, and in some ways creates a stronger bond within the region, where you're more reliant on each other, and it's not just a takeover or domination type style. And I think that's important in order to grow the game and grow players, because otherwise it can become very unenjoyable very quickly for people. Yes, Steve, you are very valuable as a Euro player. I am probably one of the least valuable players as a Canadian/American player. Just there's so many of us, and being a free-to-play player, like I never have a ton of coins. I have to save a lot. I don't usually have a ton of cans, and I do the best with what I have. My time zone, again, isn't great. It's just like things just stack up on me in some ways. But I do the best I can. And I enjoy the game, so win-win-win. So I think right after this finishes autoing, I'm going to go back to my main region, and I'll be signing off really soon because I've been on this live stream a while now, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of sick of my own voice, and I'm sure you guys are too. So I guess we'll say hi one more time. Oh, you know what? There's a raid tournament. Let's see what happens. Oh, I can't even find a player. Oh, now I did. Cool. We're going to see how this goes. We're just going to auto through one raid and see what happens. Free to play, don't pay for the game the same way that other people do, and I appreciate the way that other people pay for the game because it means that I can play. And let's see how high this is going. See, Raz is a smart one here. Raz is going to score some points, and he's going to try and score that 80,000 armory tokens, 1,000 Arav cards. So 11 hours left. Not everyone's going to move in right away. You know what? There's a good opportunity here for some players to move over fast. Okay, so I guess I'll auto my last 3 and then head back over because everyone just has these 2 tunes up right now because that's all we have when we move over. Question dodge level 100. Which question did I miss? Sorry, I don't even know which question I missed. And no, smart Raz. Go Raz, Team Raz. Oh, cannot find a player. Definitely not gonna battle a Pete, although that would be funny. Still not sure. Oh, free to play being better, my bad. Well, it's different parts of the game, right? Like, for me, I find it's a good balance because you need pay-to-play players to keep the game running from a monetary perspective, but then you also need free-to-play players so that the pay-to-play players can fight against someone. Otherwise, it's kind of just a stagnant game, and it can be very frustrating at times because in a lot of the dead regions, of course, people don't have anyone to play against because of the number of retirements and regarding how dead certain regions are. You're gonna go for a second dock? Well, if you do, good luck. I wish you a lot of luck with that. I would like my first dock, but I know that's gonna be some time, and I can wait. Okay, let's see. Anything else in global? Join when you want to get Terry's, I think. So lots of people are moving over right now. I will take some time. It looks like there's a mixture, like some people just transferred over like their minis and stuff, made their minis over here, and then some people have already moved over their main accounts. One last look at the leaderboard before we go. 1.2 million. Again, smart. They're going to get 2,000 Arav cards. They're going to get some gear. They're going to get some Ulysses. And then for raid event, it's going on for a bit longer, but that's a lot of armory tokens. I don't expect people to have their main defense and stuff up because they're going to want to hide that before WOC so people don't get to practice on it, which a lot of people end up doing. So I'm going to get more practice in my own region than I will here. Yeah, let's not joke about the coronavirus, Steve. Just, like it's a real thing that's going on in the world, and it's a sensitive topic because it's something that really does affect people, and let's just try to keep it I guess I don't even know the right word for it, but let's just try to be respectful because there are some people who have been impacted by it, and just let's keep this topic open. Yes, Zoo and Sergio. Like, if they had changed out Zoo and Sergio for two other characters that were less bad, like, again, Zoo I could end up working in, Sergio I could never work in, but yeah, I would severely, like, question who makes these bags, because, you know what, at least make the two other offers okay and not downright awful. Anyway, everyone, thank you for listening and watching to my live stream. I hope to live stream to you guys again soon, especially for WOC. And this is Link